I'll shift to the Christmas hat mid-show here, or some portion thereof. And that's the other thing. This is live before, right?
We are live right now.
We're live right now.
So we are live. Excellent. Scott's going to bring us back on. He'll do a little, there we go. See, we're using OBS. So we're going to explain everything that's going on here, and we'll give a proper introduction in a moment.
Gentlemen, thanks for having me.
Yes, our pleasure.
Yeah.
A while back, we got contacted by Jonathan Bray from Secret Spirits Advent Calendar is here.
G'day.
But he wanted to know if we were interested in helping promote the Advent Calendar this year.
Yes, love the idea.
Absolutely. So then about a month ago, I get an email. Jonathan says, hey, I want to be on a live, or let's do a show together.
Right. And what do we do?
I explained.
We do live shows.
I said, well, we do live shows on Sundays,
Yeah.
2 in the afternoon or 9 at night. You know,
Thinking.
what works best for you? And he goes, no, I want to be there.
And you were like,
Yeah, you were kind of thinking that I might do this from the comfort of my own couch back in Calgary.
yes.
Well, I think I said, we can save you a lot of money if we just want to.
But why would I do that when I can come here and drink your delicious drams
Yes.
and get to know you guys? It's fantastic.
And that was the first thing Jonathan said was the nicest thing about this business is actually physically getting to know the
It
people.
is. Absolutely.
And so we're getting to
So
know
we're
each
getting to know
other.
each other.
Jonathan, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too for the first time. Yeah.
And Jonathan said he wanted to start standing because if he was sitting...
It's
you
actually,
want-
yes,
yeah.
it's hi Cindy. I know
Right.
you're
His
watching at home.
wife said no one will ever even know you've had the kilt
You're wearing
on.
a kilt on if you don't stand up first. So I checked in 3 pieces of baggage with all the calendars and everything,
Yes.
and my kilt bag. And Cindy said, "You're not taking that all the way to Kansas unless people can see that you're wearing the kilt." So here we go. I'm just going to do the turn.
There you go.
Watching the kilt.
How many pleats in the back?
A lot.
Yeah. See, we were
Yes.
learning a lot. When we did the kilt crawl, we learned a lot and kind of what goes in, and we were both very intrigued by
Now-
the craftsmanship.
So the computer is set up a little ways away. I'll try to watch the chats. I also have it up here on my phone.
Genius.
All right, I'm sitting down. The kilt's going away.
Yep, we'll try to keep up with the chat people. Now, everybody stay tuned though, because
Although
towards
you can still see the sparring. It's all good.
Excellent. Yeah, that is.
towards the end of the show, we are going to auction off this Advent calendar right here.
Right?
Everybody that's watching, high bidder wins it. This is the brand new one. This is the 5th edition. Jonathan will donate all proceeds to Drams for Fams event
Absolutely,
this year.
transfer fans.
So that's worth saying again. So we're going to do a live auction right here.
Yes.
Tonight.
Right
Yep.
right here tonight. Where are we starting at? I know we talked.
We're gonna start at $100. It's pretty low, but
That is
you know,
low
it's a good start.
because the value is
As
way
soon
above.
as soon as we sign that, it's going to go up in value. Except maybe
right.
when you sign it, then it might go back
True.
down again. But
That is true. I will bring it down. My scratch. So we're going to sign it. This is the newest version. You'll be able to bid for it again. It's going to start in the comments. Now, before we close the show, we'll make sure Jonathan will handle. It'll be a PayPal transfer and stuff before the show ends. So we'll talk more about that. But the comments are where this will happen.
So this was actually personally bought from Canada in my luggage today, and I'm hoping to not take it home.
Perfect.
Good.
And it says 279 of 2000.
Yep, 279 of 2000.
And it will be signed by the dummies and Jonathan.
In fact, and so that will be the only calendar in history that will ever have that happen potentially.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think.
Now, we're already getting bids coming in. You got to wait.
You know what? Just
We're going to wait till later in the show. We'll
I
do
don't know.
the
I
auction.
mean, if people want to bid while we're talking, just go for it,
Let
man.
them
Don't-
bid.
don't-
We'll keep up on it. We'll
This
add
is-
in. We'll
this is
add in a
Drams
few
for-
stickers as well. Some of these stickers we'll
Now-
add in.
I know. I mean, you guys have these like ridiculously amazing coins. Now, what do your fan base have to do to get one of these coins?
Yeah,
You've got to be pretty special, right? You can't just be anybody to get one of these.
Well, go ahead.
No, we sell. We
We
the
do
coins.
sell.
Oh, you
Yep.
sell them?
Yes.
Yep.
Now we do occasionally have the special. It's the regular coin, but we don't sign every coin. But when we do a 100th episode, every like Centurion episode, we'll sign those coins on the show, and then those we do usually put up on eBay. So those get signed. Otherwise, we always have coins featured. We'll even throw some on here a little later. And
Well, what do I have to do to get a coin?
Well, you will definitely get a coin.
Yeah.
Well,
Scott,
a signed coin.
Yeah, we'll do that too. And I
Now-
think, are these
unless you
pre-done?
sign
Well,
it.
those are pre-done. Yeah,
These
for
are
the
pre-done.
share sheet.
Sorry, these are pre-done.
We're
for the
getting
share
together
sheet.
tomorrow. We will.
Yes, we'll do
Jonathan
coins.
will get his own coin.
I
yeah.
pulled these over. We got Sherry Shootout in progress. I
Okay.
could see he was like, "Don't touch those. Don't touch those."
We're up to $225
Woo!
already.
Keep her going,
Mark
baby.
Brown. Now-
So these are
We-
going for $400 on our website.
Okay.
And as you know, back editions go up in value, but I think once it gets the signatures on there, and plus this is going for charity, I think we might see some big numbers.
That's right.
Let's hope.
That's right. Edmonton's food
Now-
deal.
Okay, so we'll talk as we're going. Though we're going to talk about what you do, how the Advent calendar got started.
Is.
Yeah, just pull that one in a little bit more.
Drink
and see
some
that.
whiskey.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right.
Now you bill yourself. I was going to say when you were showing the kilt, you bill yourself as the Australian kilt wearing Canadian, or what do you say?
How do you say it?
Yeah, well,
That sounds
I'm
great.
just an Aussie in a kilt.
Yeah, and also from Canada.
Now I'm living in Canada, so now I've got a split personality. I'm Australian and Canadian, which is super fun. But actually, for those that are probably maybe wanting to know, this tartan on this kilt is Keeper of the Quake,
Oh,
which happened earlier this year. You guys know anything about Keepers of the Quake?
yeah.
But through Gillespie's show is where I've learned and heard.
And well, Simon Brooking was talking about it.
Yes,
as well.
Simon Brooking as
Yeah.
well.
So that was a great honor to be inducted earlier this
That
year.
is
So
awesome.
there's only about 2,500 roughly
Yeah.
that have ever been
That's quite
inducted,
the
and
honor.
I think 1,000 of those aren't with us anymore. So it's a pretty select little group.
It is very.
So
Now I'm distracted a little bit with this.
Yes.
So let's I'll let you explain this a little bit, and then we'll kind of slide it back up. I've
Okay.
opened it, but go ahead and tell the folks.
That I bought at the very last minute at a great expense is our collector's edition. So we only made 100 of these for our second and third editions, and it's designed to be basically pimping the ride of the Advent calendar, if you will, because it had exactly the same whiskies as the second edition, but we snugly wrapped those whiskies up in a beautiful solid rosewood case with brass fittings, and
Very nice.
and the idea was you would buy this edition to make a beautiful bar piece, and then every year thereafter you just buy the regular one and transfer the contents in, or have somebody you love and trust transfer the contents in, because they're not going to tell you what the whiskies are, right?
Yes.
So there's not very many of them left now, and so I just thought I'd bring it along as a prop, because I knew you were so tall you'd be able to see over the back of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could clear it. But this is gorgeous. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, we pulled this out before we started. I was like, tell me something. So, and it's gorgeous.
It was hilarious because we had just finished our second edition production. My wife does all the design work. I just pick the booze. And so she thought, great, we're all done and everything. And then I plied her with most of a bottle of wine, and we talked about doing the collector's edition. And Cindy was like, okay, sure, that'll be fun. So it was a mad scramble to try and get it done that year. But we did, and it was pretty fun.
Now, although the fans know this, I'm a huge board gamer, and certain board games will get collector edition done as well, which is similar. They'll be over the top, gorgeous, wood box, blinged out interior. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, I know what you did here.
Absolutely.
Now, we will be sampling
Of course,
some drams,
there has to be whiskey.
but it is not from this
No, because
edition.
that would be a huge spoiler alert. And once
Huge.
it's out there, you can't take it back.
Exactly.
So
Bart, go ahead. Just grab the first 3 coins out of the bracket 3 bag. We'll just use them. I'll just replace them. We'll have to bring some more from home.
So let me see.
3
Now-
coins in the fountain.
Yeah. So this is the fifth edition Advent calendar. This is auction off. We're up to $301.
All right.
Bracket 3. Little Spartan helmet there too.
Awesome.
Dirt 117 says that he's got money left over from Black Friday. He'll do $750
Whoa! That's
because it's for
Holy moly,
charity.
it
that's
is.
amazing.
Dirt, if you're serious,
Yeah.
I hope you're serious.
Yeah, he's got to be serious.
He's up by
players.
Manhattan, Kansas, so we know where he's at. So
We might even be able to do a personal delivery.
Yeah.
now, okay, so let's explain that. Last year we did a charity for Drams for Fams. It started in Canada.
Right.
with the Edmonton Scotch Club. They allowed us, though, the money that we raised went to a local food bank. We donated, I think it was $1,800 we raised last year.
Yeah. Yep.
So, and that was like in March or April. So
Gillespie,
we'll be doing
Mark
that
came
again.
on the show and helped out. He'd had them on his show. He came on our show. I think he actually, when we hit certain levels, didn't he try? Was it the Dickel Tabasco?
Yeah.
Tennessee whiskey, I think. Yeah, it was, he
had a
took
couple of those.
That cleared out his sinuses.
Dirt. Okay, so Dirt 117 is serious with
He's serious.
$750.
We had a question that they were wondering if the collector's edition is being auctioned. No, it is not.
No,
sorry about that.
Yeah, this is a traveling.
Well, and actually, this
edition.
one is really beat up because this has been our demo model for the past 5 years.
Gotcha.
Now, do you still have Whiskey Throttle as Daniel? He's up in Canada as well, but he's asking if that's the second edition.
Yes.
You said you did those for the second and the third edition.
Second and thirds,
Do
yeah.
you still have some of those available?
Yes, we do. In fact, we've got some available on our US and Canadian websites, on our shops.
Now, how much do they go for? Do you know off the top of your head?
$1,500
Okay.
for the third edition.
Okay.
Yeah, and $2,000 for the second.
Got it. Okay.
For those watching, we're up to $750 for the donation to Drams for Fams.
First of all, that happened fast.
The 5th edition Advent calendar. We weren't even going to start this till later.
Yeah, but we couldn't help it, and then off we went.
We can't
And
help ourselves.
that will the final price will include shipping.
Yes,
as
of course.
well.
Yes.
So
yes.
yeah, there won't be a shipping charge on top.
Now,
of it.
Jonathan's
No.
going to walk us through. Why don't you explain the three that you've picked? I know one is an Islay. These are very new to us. And again, this is from the fourth edition, which is
behind
back
me
right
there,
over
the one
here.
with the little Scotch test dummy sitting
That's
on top.
right. We've got the dummies hanging out. So these are from the fourth edition.
Yes, they are. So part of what we do is design a Scotch whisky adventure that's going to take you around all the different regions and styles of Scotland.
Beautiful.
So it's not just 25 random whiskies. We really do want to have Lowlands, Highlands, Islands, Space Islay, Campbellton when we can get it, but obviously there's only a couple of distilleries there, so we don't always get that region. But from the comfort of your own home, you get to travel around Scotland, and we also want to showcase all the different styles of Scotch whisky. So we're trying to take you out of your comfort zone, show you new things in whiskey that you've never tasted, never tried.
Good.
And that's been the funnest part for me, is that I get to decide what goes in here. So every year, I get to go to Scotland and pick 25 whiskies. It's fantastic.
That
and
is
of course,
nice.
I normally have to drink at least, 100 or so to whittle it down to those 25.
You have to know what you're doing.
It's a really tough job.
Right.
But I put my hand up and said, if somebody has to do it, let it be me.
Yeah.
And so here we are.
And you've got the passion.
I do, absolutely. So yeah, I've been selling independent bottling, single cask whiskies for 15 years, and it's a great way to drink Scotch. So what I wanted to bring out was 3 different whiskies from 3 different independent bottlers. We always have a little booklet in each calendar that has a history of the different bottlers that we use for that edition. It always changes every time. So this first one is from Weems Malts. Are you familiar with Weems? Mm-hmm. You've had...
looks like Weemus, right?
We
does,
had
but it's-
one bottle.
we had
Because
one.
I butchered the name.
Weems.
I believe.
Yeah.
Weems.
Right.
I'm Australian. I barely speak English, so for me, everything's hard. And when it comes to phonetically pronouncing Gaelic, it's almost
Yeah,
impossible.
and we're the
so-
dummies with like the Midwest accent.
Yeah,
so we
so
just know.
it's tough.
We usually just say sorry.
Yeah, I'm always checking first online. But even then, small villages, different people will pronounce distilleries differently. Gaelic is hard like that. So anyway, Weems Malt's a very old Scottish family, played a part in the Jacobite Rebellion. They have a beautiful castle, Weems Castle. They're in Fife.
Okay.
And they own a distillery, Kingsbarns. I don't know if you've heard of Kingsbarns. It's near St Andrews. A Lowland distillery. They are just turning 3 years old, so I think they're going to have whiskey
Really?
shortly. So anybody who loves golfing and heads to St Andrews should definitely check out Kingsbarns. It's super
Okay.
awesome.
Beautiful.
The other thing that Weems do that's really fun is single cask independent bottling, and we've had quite a few of those in different editions. And they also do some delicious blended malts. I don't know how you guys feel completely about blended malts,
Love
but
them.
it's
an art in and of itself.
it is,
Yes.
and it's one of the most maligned categories in Scotch whisky because of that awesome word blend.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're the Scotch Whisky Association and you want to make sure that people can understand what's going on, then you take away the vatted malt that everybody understands and you use the word blend again, because there's already a category that has the word blend in it.
Compass Box really was
Yeah.
our first like dipping in and understanding, and then really enjoying the artisanship.
From Johnny Walker. I would say we didn't. I didn't appreciate blends until Compass Box.
Right, we'd had blends.
Yeah,
but really,
But you'd had blended malts or blended scotches.
Yeah, I'd mostly had blended scotches, not just the blended malts.
Yeah,
Okay.
And then when I really understood and came to, I mean, it really opened my mind when we started having the Compass Box whiskeys. Matter of fact, it was Peat Monster that opens me up to becoming the Peat Head.
Absolutely.
And I learned so much there. He had said, you got to come over and try this. And at the time, I wasn't a big, there was some, but I wasn't, Tomatin was 10 was about all. And then I did a couple things. One, I looked and I prejudged by the paleness of the color. I was like, come on, look at it. And he's like, shut it.
Add more caramel. It'll be delicious.
Yeah, right. right. He literally said, and we're not filming or anything, he says, shut up and just try it. And I'm like, all right. And I was like, oh. And he's like, see?
I mean, it just makes sense. If you love single malt whiskey,
Yeah.
then how could you possibly say that you don't like blended malt?
Right.
Because it's a combination of single malts. And in fact, can be greater than the sum of their parts, right? Because you can add more complexity and more layers.
Like a great chef.
It's just terminology. A lot of consumers, I think, see that word blend and they just shut off. They don't even see the word malt, right? It's just blend.
Right.
So anyway, I always wave the flag for blended malts. I just love it. All right, so this is from Weems.
Well, I just point out, if you look around, there's several Compass Boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Several
Douglas Lang.
Douglas Langs, even some Johnny Walker around. So
this was day 2 in our 4th edition, and it is the Spice King Batch Strength from Weems Malt. So one thing that Weems likes to do, I'm going to give you guys more because I've had lots of this. They like to put a bit of a descriptor on the label to give you an idea of the flavor profile. Now that has created some challenges for us because every time we've been bottling something, especially for the US with the TTB, we have to change the label. For example, we had a magnificent Glen called Marmalade Appeal. Glen that was their tasting note on the label. But the TTB didn't like that because they thought we'd put marmalade in the whiskey.
Oh.
So Spice King we got away with.
A lot of malt.
Yeah, so, it's like rising bread dough.
This is predominantly Speyside.
Whiskey Throttle has you confused with a Jonathan Bray that's on Mad Men or something.
Oh, really? Am I famous somewhere else? Am I more famous in somebody else's
He wants
mind?
you to sign. He wants you to sign his DVD collection. He says.
Okay, nice. Excellent.
No, boy, the ABV is there on the nose though too.
I can't remember. 48.
Really?
Oh yeah, wow. More sherry influence rather than exclusive sherry or sherry bomb.
Are you getting that little undercurrent of Islay that they whacked in there?
Of what?
Islay.
Oh,
So I said it's predominantly Speyside.
well-
There's a little bit of Islay malt that they threw in there just as an undercurrent.
Is it unpeated Islay?
Nope.
Oh, there's almost a little bit of Bunnahabhain unpeated characteristic to it.
Interesting. Cool. I love Bunnahabhain.
Oh yeah, I mean lemongrass.
Yeah.
Very, very light sherry influence, I believe, somewhat in there.
Wow. You're so much better on the sherry than I am.
Unsalted or unpeated Bunnahabhain characteristic. I don't get any. I'm not getting the peat if it's there. Maybe I could after some time.
I don't think it's very
okay.
prominent. It's more of a very subtle little backbone, and it's more kind of a insider knowledge on what they use to make the whiskey.
Steve A is asking if the shipping is happening this week in the U.S.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Most of them.
The shipping of
if
yes.
they
Actually,
pre-ordered.
all the pre-order calendars are going out tomorrow.
Oh.
So we apologize for the break in transmission, but we had unbelievable challenges this year. Lots of U.S. customs regulatory things and air freighting from Scotland, but it's all going out tomorrow. Speaking of which, we're also doing a bit of a Cyber Monday deal tomorrow on our 5th edition.
Okay.
So it'll be the last kind of. We're just winding back to that pre-order price.
Okay. So the Cyber Monday is basically getting it at the pre-order price. Which when did the pre-order price cut off?
That cut off at the end of October.
Got it.
I
Wow.
believe.
So
you're
able to travel back in time.
Back in time.
Cyber Monday.
Just for 24 hours.
Wow.
For those tuning in, we're right at 100 people watching.
Nice.
Jonathan brought this along.
Catch everybody up.
We are doing there's an auction that's been going. The bidding is up to $750. I haven't seen anybody come in higher yet for a brand new 5th edition Advent calendar. Jonathan.
Unfortunately signed by the three of us.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be signed by the three of us. It'll include at least one of these coins that we're using, initialed.
Yes. We'll sign that
Maybe
as well.
2 coins.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
And this
the-
Pete head sticker.
That's
or
right.
Pete.
We've got it flipped around showing the current
can't see
bid.
it. Yeah.
That's right.
Nice.
It's for charity donation. The $750 that we're up to will all go to Drams for Fams. Jonathan will make that donation,
It's going to also have the Make America Pete It Again sticker is going to be on there.
and Jonathan will handle shipping as well.
That's right.
Yes, I will. Absolutely. Okay, that's,
Yeah.
it's not going to stay
We'll
there.
get it.
This is a
So if you want to bid,
prop malfunction.
put it in the comments. All right. Near the end of the show, we'll actually have the PayPal go through. We'll work all those details out right near the end of the show. It'll end up going to Jonathan, and we'll just do that near the end. Now, we do have a super chat that came in from Boyson.
Yep.
All right.
got-
Do we have virtual? Oh, we don't have
I've got
virtual
the
cowbell.
chat. I've got the
Oh,
chat.
no,
pulled
no,
up
no,
here,
no,
Marshall.
no, no,
Ding, ding,
no.
ding,
So
ding,
what we
ding, ding,
usually
ding.
have is a real cowbell, but it's at his home
Yep.
on the set.
Oh.
And so when they throw in a super chat, if they have a question, they get it asked.
What's the super chat?
Super chat is this little
Oh, the
green
little
thing
green
that
thing?
came in, and then so we can see
Jesse Voisin gave
$5
us $5
for a disposable razor.
He's talking for me.
It's probably he doesn't usually have anything, but I haven't shaved either. So, but just for a day. Wow, hold on. Ding, 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 ding. Don Nishida's come in with $25. I wish we had the real.
Don's in Hawaii.
Yes, Don can't compete with dirt.
That's our high bidder.
All right, but please donate to the charity of your choice. All right, so we'll put the $25 to the same charity.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's
bet.
fantastic, Don.
Awesome.
And we'll probably save ours till our Drams for fam
Yeah.
event. We'll count all this.
We'll that
towards
in.
that.
Yeah, we'll add
roll
the
that
ones
over.
that come in on super chats.
So
at
we
that
can do
level.
one.
Right, that would be
donation
good.
at
Yeah,
a time.
one time.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
All right, so blended malt. And this is a very limited edition. It was just a single batch strength that came out, done and dusted. I think there might be still a little bit available. I don't even actually know if that came to the US, but
Now, if I add a touch of water, does it help open it up, or
yeah,
is it
seeing as it's
delicate?
batch strength,
Right.
they basically just whacked it in there.
It's very drinkable.
Now, I don't know if everybody understands what batch strength means as opposed to cask strength. So cask strength is single barrel, basically just taking it out of the barrel and putting it in the bottle, no watering it down when you're bottling. Batch strength means that they used a number of different casks to make that blended malt, but they didn't water it down. So all of those casks at the end of it, just for this particular one, it was funny because there were two other
That's good.
batch strengths that they did that all had point something, but this one came out at exactly 48%. But you know that happens sometimes.
Now, with the drop of water, I do feel like I got a little bit of the peat out of there.
To go searching for it. That's great contemplating. You have to contemplate things.
Actually, earlier when I was talking about it, and I said maybe if I spent some time with it, I'd get the
Right.
peat, and then I took in a breath, did a little inhale, and I got just a slight hint of it.
Oh yeah, it's just right in the back there,
The
right in the
angry
back.
chipmunk.
Yeah.
That's my circular inhalation.
Okay, so we also want to head to all the different regions, and we want to touch on, of course, it's mostly single malt, but we also like to include single grain, and every single grain that we've done so far has always been over 20 years old. Something special about older single grain. We did include, actually, in our first 3 editions, one blended Scotch, but it's very hard to find blended Scotches from independent bottlers.
Yeah,
So our fourth and almost a spoiler alert, our 4th edition did not have a blended Scotch.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's. Oops.
That is delicious.
But yeah, very nice. I love Weems. They do great things.
Now, so let's talk real quick, though, Bart, because this will go out to the high bidder, which right now is Dirt 117.
Dirt.
This is the 5th edition. We have our own 5th edition that should be coming. each day we are going to do our own review of the bottle.
Yes.
So December 1st, and I think the way we split it up, you're gonna take it for like 6 or 7 days, and you're responsible for those reviews.
I will
and then
put
you're gonna hand deliver the box to me.
Right.
Not this one. The one.
If there's a blizzard, I may have to do yet another week just exclusively from me.
Yep.
You'll be like, snow.
Each day.
Blizzard, baby.
Each day.
Sorry,
from
Scott, you're not getting any
December 1st.
whiskey, mate. I'm stuck. It's a snow day, another snow day.
Each day from December 1st to December 25th, though, we'll post a review of each bottle as we pull it out of the Advent calendar.
Yes.
Some of them could be live. Some of them could be pre-recorded. Some of them we could be together. Some of them we may have a special guest with it. Some of them we may be in Texas.
Sure. Yeah, we have a Texas trip coming up.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was actually one of the interesting things because with being two of us and with a distillery trip that we have to make in December, we were like, how are we going to do this? Because we still wanted to have some of that same excitement of the day. You know, I told him as a kid, my mom had this little, like craft, almost homemade thing that was, an advent calendar on the wall that was out of cloth with little cloth twist ties that she tied candy onto. And then every day you'd get your little candy. And it was, these weren't even super special candies, but it's something even about the day. And these are super special whiskeys. So it's like the grown-up kid still, all at the same time.
But the funny thing is, in this sort of setting with great whiskey, awesome whiskey people, yes, a lot of people want to do the countdown. But what we have found is the vast majority of these calendars go under the tree as the ultimate Christmas gift for the Scotch lover.
That is cool, too.
Yeah, so we get people giving us comments back, April, May, June, when they're finishing up their calendar. And December's a busy time, right? Everybody's rushing around, Christmas parties and things, and these are whiskies that, as Bart here said, you want to contemplate your life a little bit, right? You want to sink back into your deep back leather chair and pour yourself a dram and tell your wife that you don't want to be disturbed for half an hour.
Yeah.
Or your husband.
Yeah.
If you're the whiskey lover in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's funny how probably 70% of them don't get used as advent calendar.
That's interesting. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, they're just kind of like ultimate Christmas
right, because it's under the tree, and I could totally see it. My wife's always like, what kind of, because I always tell her, you cannot go wrong, whether it's birthday, anniversary, Christmas, you can't go wrong with getting me a bottle of whiskey.
Ever.
Right, and she's even said, well, what if you already have it? Doesn't matter, now I got more of it.
Yes.
and she knows I like Islay, and she knows there's a couple liquor stores I go to, so sometimes the one she can wander in, and they even know who she is, because I'm in there, and they'll be like, he'll like this. And so it's even been the easy button for her. So I totally actually see that where, you're, and this doesn't look like it's going to be the whiskey gift until it's unwrapped. And you're like, whoa, the box just turned into an awesome whiskey gift. Yeah, I could see
and unlike other, like beer advent calendars that have been out there, whiskey's not going anywhere.
Right.
You can keep this for years and years and go through them. So there's no rush.
Good call.
Right?
Good call.
Take it easy. All right, whiskey number 2.
Yes.
I can see that your glasses are empty and you're thirsty.
Yes.
See the glasses were, put back in front of me and arranged in such a way that I could pour freely for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so this next whiskey is actually from one of my favorite independent bottlers, 80 Rattray. This was the company that I started my career in whiskey with. So they've been around since 1868 and they're owned by Tim Morrison. Now, does that name ring a bell for anybody? Morrison family in whiskey? Bowmore, Auchentoshan, Glengarry, any of these distilleries ring a bell?
Sure.
Okay, so they're all owned by the Morrison family, sold to Suntory in the 80s. And Mr. Morrison, Tim Morrison, rekindled 80 Rattray. He was a third-generation descendant of the guys who founded that company. And he started bringing out single casks from his own personal collection. And now he has also started a distillery. Don't know if you've heard of Clydeside Distillery in Glasgow.
Okay, I think I have actually.
Yeah, so
on Glasgow show. First of all, I want to back up to he brings out his own personal cask from his collection. Love this already.
Okay,
already, I'm like, I love the start of that.
Now, Tim's a very modest man. He's a fantastic guy and such a gentleman. I've had a few discussions with him.
Okay.
But he's never actually told me the number. But there is rumoured amounts when he sold those distilleries to Suntory, his family kept back as personal stock somewhere in the vicinity of 3,000 casks.
Oh, gosh, that would be beautiful.
So that's where he started plucking casks from. And then, of course, he had a lot of stock of Bowmore, Auchentoshan and Glengarry, but then 80 Rattray used those casks to trade for other distillery casks. So when I first started selling them way back 15 years ago, I had like this list of incredible whiskies from all over Scotland. It was absolutely amazing. I wish I could go back in time and buy all those casks for those prices again 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whiskey was a lot less expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this particular whiskey is a 21-year-old Glen Ellyn. And if anybody wants, I've already blogged on all of these because these are all 4th edition. So if you go to singlemalting.com, you can read about this particular whiskey, Glen Ellyn, if you want to see my tasting notes and all that sort of stuff. Full cask strength at 52.9%. Bourbon hogshead. Speyside Distillery, of course. And as 80 Rattray always do, straight out of the barrel into the bottle. All the toys are in the toy box. You get to play with them the way you want. Which is awesome.
I love it. You know, I was thinking when we were with Simon Brooking, he gave us a hardbound book that's on my coffee table upstairs that I was reading. And it actually talked about the Morrison family, I believe. So, because it gave the history that goes... It didn't go all the way back to the 1800s. It started more, I wanted to say like in the 20s or 30s.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, if anybody out there has not purchased a single cask bottling from 80 Rattray and you love whiskey, then you owe it to yourself to do that. Because they only put out good casks, and in my experience. Now, it may not be your particular taste profile, right? Because every distillery is different, but it'll be a cool expression from that distillery.
Now, see, this is where Roy, Aquavitae, had talked to us about how he wished we were able to get access to a lot of the independent bottlers that he enjoys moving around. And so already, we have not really been through the 4th edition. So
lucky for us, because otherwise these whiskeys would have been gone already.
Exactly. But there's, and again, I know nothing on, this is not talking about the 5th, so we'll talk about the 4th and the ones before. You have a lot of independent bottling options that are in there. Is it even the majority of, or in the older editions?
The entire, every single calendar that we have ever bought out is 100% independent bottling.
100%.
Every time. Yep. So they're all single casks, all blended malts, but they're all limited editions. Hard to find whiskies. They're not usual suspects on the shelf.
Got it.
Because this is all designed to take you on that journey, right?
Right.
And it wants to be it's got to be an adventure, something you haven't had before. It's no good just doing a journey around your local liquor store.
Something you've probably never had before, and at the same time, probably something you won't ever have again.
True.
So appreciate it that much more. Wow.
Absolutely. So on that front, though, I can say that over the years we have been able to bottle some cask remnants, and for the first time, we bottled some Secret Spirits whiskies for our 3rd edition, and we've been growing that ever since, because then we can kind of control what we're doing with the remnant. I can say for the 5th edition, we will have the most whiskies available ever. They're all going to be in 750ml, so it'll be in the US for the first time.
This is phenomenal.
Jonathan, a question from Whiskey Throttle. Morrison and Mackay has Aberargie.
I'm sure that's 100% correct.
Distillery. Is Jonathan sourcing any casks from them? Aberargie. Can you see it?
Aberargie?
Aberargie?
Okay, so no. after that big pause, no, haven't been able to source any of that, any casks from there yet.
But you're familiar with them, or maybe trying to, or
well, we are actually at the stage now where we're looking to fill our empty casks with new make from distilleries, and thinking down the track that we can be actually aging and bottling our own whiskies for a long-term plan.
Very smart.
If my brain hasn't exploded from trying to make the calendar every year for the next 10 years.
Real quick, again, people tuning in and tuning out. This 5th edition Secret Spirits Whiskey Advent Calendar, we are auctioning off for Drams for Fams. Bidding is at $750 for this. This is the brand new one. We'll contact you at the end of the live stream with details for an email address. Jonathan will take the donation through PayPal. and arrange for shipping as well.
Yes.
So,
All right.
Wow, that is quite delicious, that Glen.
We had to go with my own
Nice.
as well.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, and the Broncos did win, and this is unbelievably delicious.
oh wow,
Yeah, yeah, it's a wow. This is a wow.
boy, that is rich on the palate. So
Extremely.
much
It is. And look at the color of it.
vanilla lemon custard.
Yeah, lemon custard is exactly
21 years old, but look at that
Oh,
color.
yeah.
Look how light that is. So these are the fun things that I like to build into the journey is
You want me to hold on to that?
showcasing how awesome whiskey is. So none of these whiskeys are have any caramel added to them, no chill filtration, just out of the cask into the bottle. But that's remarkably light for a 21-year-old whiskey. Amazing.
Real quick for Dirt 117, who's the high bidder. We are at Iron Root the same weekend that Nancy is there. He's going to be there. He says for the tasting class. We don't know. Iron Root is really treating us that weekend.
Yeah.
We don't know what the plans are.
We don't. Although we do plan to
we'll
hang
be-
out with Nancy Fraley as well.
Yeah. We may be in and out of the tasting class. I don't know if we'll be able to take part in the whole thing or not.
We want
Or
to
the,
film it, but it's
blenders.
up to her.
It's
yeah,
a
the
blenders
blenders
class, not a tasting
yeah,
class.
Blenders class.
Would you categorize this as a contemplating life whiskey?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is
You could sit and think about this for a long
unbelievable.
time, couldn't you? So complex.
I get honeys on the finish. The finish is long and lingering. It's a crisp, clean, like honeyed, almost almost like that honeysuckle when it hangs around, but that sweet honey. And those creams and those vanillas just
I'm feeling you.
just stay there. Yeah, it's unbelievable. The
Little
finish
bit,
is great.
little bit of pineapple, a little bit of tropical in there. Not much. Mainly that honeysuckle.
But that open is this
Lemon
burst
custard.
of lemon custard and like the mouthfeel is just velvety and smooth and clean and crisp.
Delicious. Yes, thank you very much, AD Rattray, for this cask.
And we haven't had any, so we will have to definitely look for some.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And a malty mid palate.
So I think actually in our 4th edition we had 10 different independent bottlers
Wow.
in that edition, which is a lot.
Wow. And it's funny because as we move through this, just the way that Scott and I have to handle the filming aspect of the 5th, it will be interesting because I'll be watching your shows going, save me a little bit of that. Save me a little bit of that.
Well, I mean, that's another reason why we did the 50ml bottles. Well, we couldn't have sold our product in the US if we hadn't done 50ml, but we wanted it to be almost 2 ounces, so you can share it. Now, why would you share it? You really shouldn't. You should drink it all yourself because it's a delicious big dram just for you. But in cases like this where you absolutely have to share, it's enough.
Well, and that was one thing we pointed out. You and your buddy and get one. There's 3 of us sitting here sharing pretty good drams out of one bottle.
Right.
So 2 of you could split the cost of one of these and share the dram.
Well, we're huge advocates of that whiskey's meant to be shared. And so we had talked about this early on where if a couple buddies went into this and then hung out, even spent that quality time, maybe moved through 2 or 3 and they're not going day by day, kind of like what you talked about. There's so many aspects you can move through this.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of every which way. I've heard of guys coming together on a weekend and just knocking the whole calendar over in a night.
Wow, I wouldn't want to do that. That's an interesting way. I wouldn't want to do it that way.
You know,
right? I wouldn't.
yeah.
You drink it the way you.
Well, when I say guys, I think there were maybe 4 or 5 of them.
Sure.
And they just sat down and
What's
cleaned out the calendar.
there
It's
would be,
1.25
out on
litres
the-
amongst 5 people. That's not too bad.
Out on the lawn, there arose such a
Yeah, clatter. It was all the little wee bottles that fell. But nothing was the matter.
Yeah.
And then, sorry.
real quick, Gregor asked if we'd ordered the Glen Going Teapot Dram yet. I didn't know you could outside of the distillery, but I do know that next at 10:30, so in about an hour, Malted Man Cave, Keith is going live on his with a buddy. I don't remember who it was.
I know you want more of that.
But they do have the new Glen Going Teapot Dram that they're going to be taking a look at in about 50 minutes now.
You want the rest of this?
So head over to Malted Man Cave next. I will take that. Yes.
Yes, that
This is one that
delicious.
the age of the 21 years really shows itself good. I mean,
very
it's one of
much.
those that the tannins really soak into the taste buds.
Well, and I love how much fruit is here in this whiskey and how light it is after 21 years. Now, they didn't specify what fill that hogshead was, but my suspicion it's a refill. To have that sort of
The
light
lightness,
character going
right.
on, and that lack of color as well.
Right.
Alti is asking if it's still possible to receive one by December 1st.
Absolutely.
If he orders.
Yep. Yeah, there's all sorts of different shipping options, right, including priority and all the rest of it. So, yeah, if you ordered up on Cyber Monday, you would get it in time.
Now throw out your address, your web address as well, that they can go on.
Yeah, so www.secretspiritsusa.com. Or if you're in Canada or if you're somewhere else in the world, you can go to secretspirits.com and you can find the links to the different places from there. But yeah, definitely get it for December 1st. Absolutely.
Good.
Then you can follow along with these dummies.
Yes, yeah, and we'll throw this in the description as well, so you guys can get that link in the description if you're watching this later.
Probably worst case scenario, you get it December 2nd or 3rd. So, I mean, you're just a day or two off. But, I mean, even if you waited a few days.
Yeah, if you waited a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But why?
Yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, all the
you want
calendars
it,
are
you want
actually, all the pre-ordered calendars are actually only going out tomorrow. But they're all going to reach their destinations before December 1.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yep. So no one's going to miss out.
And I like the idea that they can drink along with us.
Yeah.
Because we sat and tried to figure out how are we going to do this. And sometimes us both getting together every single day wouldn't be doable. So then it was, let's take it for a week, 6 days, whatever it is, and I'll be responsible for those days on the calendar, and then we'll trade it back off.
That's awesome. Well, that is one of the fun things about our calendar is that you can have people from all over the world joining in on the same whiskey tasting with single casks and exclusive drams. That would never happen otherwise. So we actually had a father and 3 boys in Alberta who all bought calendars, and they would get on the phone every day and have their dram together as a family, which is really cool. I love that idea.
Clean this. This will be the Islay coming in.
Again, for those tuning in, we're up to $750
rinse
by
yours with a
Dirt
little water?
117 for the 5th edition of the
yeah.
Advent calendar. It will ship out tomorrow from Wichita.
Set upon this lid.
It is a donation that goes to Drams for Fams, which Jonathan will make. Jonathan's also arranging the shipping.
Yes, indeed.
And we are drinking, the samples that we are drinking are from the 4th edition. Last
Do you want to
year's.
use the skin do, or are you going to... the little thing just, it spun instead of breaking.
Got it.
Possibly could have been airline enhanced
Got it.
on its trip down today.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the little seal didn't break.
Got it.
Well, and Steve,
Excuse me, we're experiencing technical difficulties. We will fix it and be right back with you shortly.
Steve A is asking what time of day are we releasing our vids for the calendar. It will vary just to try to accommodate, us and people across the globe. So some will be in the morning, some will be in the afternoon, some will be in the evening. So we won't set a specific time for every day. So Jesse voicing there is a discount on Cyber Monday that will be $350.
Yep, $50 off the 5th edition and $100 off the 4th edition if anybody wants a back edition.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah. So you still have some of each?
We've got 3rds and 2nds. The only edition that we have none of is the 1st because we only made 400. I have a couple, and we've been offered over $5,000.
Holy
Wow.
moly.
And my wife said no because we've only got 2 of them, and when those number 1 and number 2, when those are gone, those are gone. So she said no. I said, so what's the number?
Yeah.
And she said there is no number. I'm like, yeah, there's a number.
Someone from Dubai.
Yeah, someone from Dubai.
I've got a number.
I've got a number. Yeah. We're off to the Bahamas. We just
That's
sold
right.
a 1st edition. Woo! Excellent. Okay, so this next whiskey was day 11. And this is from an absolutely spectacular independent bottler, Samaroli. Don't know if you've heard of those guys.
No, I've
So Samaroli is an Italian independent bottler. Silvano Samaroli started buying casks from Scotland in the 60s. And at that time, he was the only gentleman outside of the UK that was buying a huge number of casks. It was a bit of a downturn in the industry. He went to all the distilleries. They were happy to fill casks for him. And he laid down an insane amount of whiskey. But what he does is he bottles Scotch whiskey from an Italian palate's perspective. So they're doing interesting things with re-racking. They're doing interesting things with lightly toasted new oak. And they're always looking for that delicate complexity. That is Samaroli's MO. Delicate and complex. Those delve into contemplative whiskies that you're talking about. Samaroli own that space. They are awesome.
Really?
Unfortunately, Silvano passed away last year, but he was seen by many as having one of the best whiskey palates in the world. Super passionate guy. As you can imagine, Italians love their food. They love everything to do with taste. So it's been our great pleasure to have Samaroli involved in a lot of our calendars because they're just super awesome. So this one, Samaroli Islay.
Yeah, I'm doubly intrigued.
Yes. And I know a few things about this whiskey.
Did you guys get clean glasses? Or did you rinse them?
We did with... yours still needs... Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I couldn't even see that.
I didn't see it either.
That was...
There's water in there.
Yeah, there's water in
Saved.
there. Sorry.
That would have been awkward, right?
I would have... Yeah, hopefully. I'm glad somebody saw that. Yes.
Excuse me while I deal with this
Yes,
water.
clean this. So, all nose.
That's some high quality
Whoa,
H2O.
that smells good.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, some of the best whiskeys that I've had in my life, and believe me when I tell you that being in the industry, you get to drink above your pay grade, which is one of the perks.
Right.
But I've tried some amazing whiskeys, and Samaroli have just some of the stuff that I've had from them. But not big in-your-face whiskeys. This would be more on that side of things because it's Islay, but I've had some whiskeys that literally I would sit down and I'd be smelling it for half an hour before I even drank it.
I think I'm going to need a couple more
No.
drops.
And then that's when Cindy starts getting annoyed with me around about the half-hour mark. She's like, "Have you actually drunk that whiskey yet? Stop smelling it and drink it, for frick's sake."
There's some that just take a while.
I know, they do. And, the smell of a whiskey is as fantastic as the taste of the whiskey.
This has that beautiful Islay peat with like toasted...
But it is soft. There's no doubt. It's soft.
The toasted oaks, hints of like roasted peanuts.
So even though the vast majority of the whiskies in the calendar are cask strength, if an independent bottler like Samaroli wants to reduce it to a particular level, then that is how we bottle it, because we want to be true to the style. So Samaroli do tend to water their whiskies a little bit more, but they don't chill filter. They use big black bottles, so even if it got cold and cloudy, you would never have any issues with it. So for I think this one, that's going to You've got it. It's like, what is it, 45?
43%.
43, but not chill filtered. So generally speaking, 46% is that magical number, right, for chill filtering or not chill filtering. So when you see a whiskey at 43%, a lot of people will assume straight away that it has been chill filtered, but it hasn't.
Right. Good. Daniel Brown is asking, is Jonathan Bray a keeper? He is.
I am. Look, I've got the pin and everything.
Yes.
Look,
He's a
there
keeper.
it is. At great expense.
That's what
Actually,
his wife says anyway. I guess.
yeah, actually, all I had to do was just drink whiskey for 15 years. It was awesome.
Beautiful.
I didn't have to sit any tests. Didn't have to do anything really except just drink whiskey.
Well, and we Daniel Whiskey Throttle is asking how many independents are in the calendar. They all are.
100%.
Yeah.
It's all independent.
Or is he wanting to know how many different...
how many different... Okay,
Because
so...
I'm with you, they're 100%
so
independent.
they are. So the 4th edition, we had 10 independent bottlers.
Okay.
5th edition, do you want me to do the mental math? Let's see now. Secret Spirits, that's one. Let's see, 80 Rattray, Delphi, Single Cask Nation,
Yeah, a couple of those back there.
Exclusive Malts,
Did you
Williams
get?
Malts.
Did you get the 14-year Port Charlotte?
He can't
Cherry
say
cask.
anything.
Oh, from Single Cask
Yeah,
Nation?
no, just the bottle. That's not in here.
No, I didn't get it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I haven't opened
sounds
that
really
one,
good.
though.
Those boys do good work.
Yeah, they do.
Joshua and Jason.
Yeah.
They do good work. Without 100% sitting down and figuring it out, probably 7 or 8 independent bottlers in the 5th edition.
I have to point out, because the Edmonton Scotch Club just came in.
Woohoo, cha-ching! We've made some money.
Jonathan wanted to auction off the 5th edition Advent calendar. He's arranging shipping. He wanted to know what charity we were involved with or what we wanted to do, and we said Drams for Fams. Right now, bidding is up to $750.
It just went from 0 to hero. It's just
Yeah.
like, boom!
Yeah, I was like,
everybody was hanging in there like, this is
Yeah.
going to be good. I've got
I'll
like
do
$310.
100.
And I was like, oh, man,
I'll do
come
150.
on.
So we're getting a good head start on our drams for fams.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was a bit harsh that he did it so early.
Yeah.
You could have.
Well, I love it.
You could have let people
like a
have some
boss.
fun for a while.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
like,
well,
no, I'm just owning
Yeah,
it.
it
It's
was
bam,
750.
750 is
And then
mine.
we were like, is that real?
It's mine.
Yes.
I want it.
There could be
Mary,
somebody
my
coming in even with a
precious.
755.
But I hate to say lemon again, but underneath this peat is just again a nice lemon zest, a nice citrus, along with the peat.
You want to take a stab at the predominant distillery involved in this?
Well, Bart would do better there. Let me see. It doesn't taste Ardbegish to me. The cigarette,
Seems a little soft for that.
It is.
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
I'm getting the.
I'm just guessing it reminds me of a Lefroy right off the
I
bat.
don't,
But-
well, really? Wow.
Five.
No, that would be your lemongrass in there.
Okay, so
Cherry Beach Peathead. See, I would not have thought that.
So now, even though label-wise this says blended malt Scotch whiskey, this is one of those cases where Samaroli accessed a teaspooned cask of Lefroy. I don't know if you guys have discussed the teaspooning phenomenon in Scotland, whereby independent bottlers buy from different distilleries and they put a teaspoon of another malt into the cask, so it's no longer a single malt. It's
and
a
then
blended malt.
and then you can export it basically for exporting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
What or probably different instances, but I know that there's some because Scotch. If you want to label it Scotch, it has to be
Bottled in Scotland.
made, distilled,
and
bottled
bottled
in
in
Scotland.
Yeah.
So
So sometimes it's just because they don't want competing single malt on the shelf to compete with their own brands. So they'll teaspoon it, and then that way you've got to label it as a blended malt. But 1 teaspoon of another malt into a cask of Lefroy is not going to do anything. So this is one such cask that they re-racked into lightly toasted new American oak.
That's interesting.
And the reason why they do that is because they don't want a big penetration of the whiskey in the barrel. They want it to just take time to develop. It's a very interesting philosophy. Yeah, it works for them.
hey, Algrim the Strong is tuning in. That is Philip. He heads up a Edradour group on Facebook that we've been invited into.
Cool.
I've got the Edradour 10 awaiting review, and today I just ordered Edradour. It's a single sherry cask. It's Abisca, something
Okay.
from Edradour. So hopefully that gets here soon.
Nice.
Edradorian Nights on Facebook. If anybody wants to look that up.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So, isn't that delicious?
Yes.
Isn't,
Love it.
I mean, that is a fantastic expression of Lefroy.
Very.
It's just, and I get that, Scott. Absolutely, that citrus bent. I love the fact that there's that lovely fruit. It's not all about the smoke and the peat. And
Right.
Yeah.
it's a balanced whiskey, which I'm always
Yeah.
looking for. Even when I want my head cut off and sewn to the carpet.
Sure.
I'm just throwing a little bit of a Christmas vacation movie there. Line
Yeah.
there.
Wouldn't be more surprised if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet.
Yeah, exactly.
Bart loves the smack in the face, Pete. I love to me, bring something else with it. Bring the vanillas, bring the citrus.
Well, I love those two.
Tone down the peat a little bit.
Yeah, if anything, I talked about how I kind of feel like I've almost blown my subtle peat palate by the strong young peats that I like to consume. Because we've had some things, he's even done, we'll do a lot of blind. We have fun with our whiskeys. We'll do some blind tastings. He'll be like, are you getting peat at all?
Doing blind tastings or getting blind? So I just wanted to figure
Yeah,
out
sorry.
which
We
way
will
you're going.
do, total blind tasting.
Okay, blind tastings.
We
I
don't
just want to
get
get that
blind
correct.
drunk.
Okay, good.
Just blind, not knowing what we're sampling. But he'll be like, you should be getting some peat in there. And I'm like, I'm not. And if it's, sometimes
But
if it's
you
a
got
subtle-
that little
I did.
tiny bit in the Spice
Yeah.
King.
Yes.
Which was very cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
maybe
I'm with you.
maybe your palate's
with
fresher
you.
than you think.
Yeah, and maybe
And the good news is your palate can always recover.
Yes.
Even if you abuse it,
take a break.
it can come back.
That's
it
right.
Can. It can come back.
Edmonton Scotch Club is loving the Drams for Fam support.
Awesome.
We have a couple requests. If you throw in your kilt, the bidding will go higher.
Yeah.
And someone said throw in all 3 hats signed as well, and the bidding will go higher. Yeah. My hat's not for sale.
Right. And neither's this book.
Neither is my kilt.
We've got coins. And
so I do.
Plus, he wouldn't have anything to wear from here.
I do have a funny story about the kilt, though. So, arriving in Scotland, my very first night, I had an amazing time with James Cowan, who was the brand ambassador for AD Rattray at the time. Went out to a couple of epic whiskey bars. Had a dram of 1976 Auchentoshan single cask sherry that I later bought a bottle of because it was so good. Anyway, I had a great time. Next day, went and visited Tim Morrison and talked about all things AD Rattray. And I was already committed to getting a kilt straight away. And so, upon asking Mr. Morrison where I should buy said kilt, he said, there's no finer place than Kinloch and Anderson. Kilt makers to the royal family. But that's what somebody who sold 3 distilleries to the Japanese would say. Oh. So, yes, I did. I went to Kinloch and Anderson and I bought this kilt. And to be fair, it is amazing. It looks as good today as it did 15 years ago. But 15 years ago, it cost me $3,500.
Oh, my Lord.
Moly.
So,
we've been talking about getting Scotch test dummy.
We've
been talking about Scotch test dummy kilts, but I don't think we want those.
Much, yeah.
You can just go to the Highland Games and get $20 special, and I'm sure they could.
We want actual
sport kilts, which cost about $20.
$20,
and they look like $20.
We want kilts.
You want real kilts.
Real kilts. Yeah.
Are you creating your own Scotch test dummies tartan?
We were definitely we knew, well, there was 2 things. We knew, one, we had to make sure we weren't infringing on someone else's tartan.
Right. But it's going to be black and yellow, right?
Yes.
How many black and yellow tartans are there?
There was the question and required some kind of research.
Right, okay.
Because we definitely didn't want to infringe upon, nor do, I'll be honest with you, I mean, we know it harkens back to the clans, right? And so... anybody out there that knows, or if you know, is there a specific number? Is it quantifiable? Is it there's thousands, or is there hundreds?
There's thousands.
Okay,
and if you want to create your own kilt, though, it's not a problem. You can do it.
So there's no it wouldn't offend.
Nope.
Okay.
No, there's societies all over the world that have created their own kilts.
Okay.
Well, their own tartans.
Okay, and this is what, because we had discussed having our own Scotch test dummies.
You should do it. Absolutely.
Okay.
You're going to have little dummies interwoven, hanging off for little tartan threads.
That would be great. But then we'd get into the 3,000 again.
That better be buy one, get one for that price,
Comes with its own sporing.
Do you get a buy one, get one?
No, that's $3,500 for everything.
Everything. That's good.
So I did the full browning. I mean, this is all silver. Right? These are all silver buttons and.
So that's everything.
Yep, the sporran, the jacket, the vest, the kilt pin, the skein do.
You want to show it again for those?
I've got to see this.
Yeah, so Cindy will be.
That's right.
She'll be like, you got 2
showings.
This
is gorgeous. All these pleats. Yes. The pleats are actually phenomenal. I think I saw a little cheek. No, that is awesome.
There's actually something that mesmerizes people when they walk behind and they see the kilt flicking. It's a thing.
With the pleats and the way it has the
the sporran, of course, chinchilla actually.
Chinchilla.
The wild chinchillas that roam the hills and moors of Scotland.
Wow. Now I will say the chinchilla, I could see it's a touchable type of fur. In a very nice area. If you're at the bar by about 1 a.m, someone's like, I want to touch the chinchilla.
It has been touched many times. My sporran's name is Rex.
Rex.
A lot of people like Rex. So.
That's right. Can I touch your chinchilla? You may. His name is Rex.
And then, of course, you get the little wee knife that I did not take on the plane.
Right.
And have taken away by security.
I have heard about this. Yeah. I think when I was researching, they said, don't get caught.
With a ski no, it'll be history.
Swami was away for a little bit. He came back. Nobody bid $3,500 on the spirits calendar. That's what the
that's what the kilt costs.
That's the kilt.
Yeah. And then we can't give out any information yet, Richie, on what our whiskeys of the year will be.
Right.
I know we wait till because
we get full into January.
We're into January,
right? Because we will occasionally have something in December that's phenomenal. So
you'll have to wait. No spoilers on that.
What's interesting is our 2017. Have you noticed that our 2017 whiskeys of the year and our whiskeys of the year are clearly just what we've had within the year. So they're not whiskeys released that year. It's what we experienced.
It could be.
Sometimes it is. But I've been noticing the 2017 one, for whatever reason, has been trending.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know why.
Do we need another dram?
I think
We definitely
we do.
Should I grab another dram out of the fourth edition?
Yeah, let's do it.
That would be
You just
beautiful.
gonna do it blind, or you know which one you're going for?
Well, I mean, do you want to do Christmas Day? You want to do make it epic?
Yes.
Did we? That might be one. Did we pull that out? Did we drink that one?
Did we
Maybe
try the
drank
Christmas
that
Day?
one.
We might have opened. No?
No.
No, you didn't, and it
There
would
we
be
go.
a good opportunity to talk about this category too.
I love it. Do it.
So, in every different edition, believe it or not, I was able to do a different style of Scotch whiskey for Christmas Day. So we had, in our very first edition, we had a 33-year-old blended malt from Samaroli. Then our second edition was an absolutely, seriously kick-ass 30-year-old liquid from Samaroli. That was one of the best whiskies I have had. And then our third edition was a 34-year-old blended Scotch from Samaroli.
Wow.
Samaroli have been winning the Christmas Day bid every year because they just kept throwing amazing things at me. Fourth edition was a 30-year-old Invergordon single grain. So when we got to the fourth edition, we had an epic whiskey from every category in Scotland. So this is a 30-year-old Invergordon, but it's wax sealed. Do you want to do the honors? You were really
Got
good.
better fingernail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we had the cap break, yes, I had the little beer popper back there, and that worked great because your knife, or what's the knife called again?
Skein do.
The skin do. Skin do?
Skein do.
Skin do.
Skein do.
Yeah, skin do. Don't forget you have water here to clean, so
Thank you.
we don't.
yeah.
Yes.
And that's the same paper towel you had. Swami, we have two single cask Kilhomans back there. That's not the PX cast strength. You can
Right.
see the Kilhomans
Yep.
back there.
We want to review those at one point when we were down in Austin.
Night cast strength.
So.
I just noticed he was
Where?
heading off to bed.
Oh, good night. Yes. Yep. I picked those up because I love Kilhoman.
Yeah, this
love
is-
what they're doing.
There
Is
we
it on there good?
It's real wax.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we do tart up the Christmas Day bottle a little bit. Have the
Beautiful.
little embossed metal plate and all that sort of stuff. It's meant to be special, right?
It is. It's the day.
It is. A lot of people are like, well, how come you actually even have something? Because Advent calendars normally don't, right? It's 24 days.
That's a good point.
But we decided that if we're taking on this great journey, this adventure, we can't not give you something truly epic on Christmas Day, right?
Well, and here's the nice thing. We always get whiskey from usually our spouses, and we'll share or tweet that out, or he'll even call and go, "What'd you get?" And so I think whiskey's a big Christmas Day for whiskey drinkers. It's a big thing. It's funny because I've had, I'll put it out on Facebook, and I'll have a family member that's not, not maybe even a teetotaler, and they'll be like, "You're drinking whiskey at 9 a.m. on Christmas Day?" Of course.
Of course I am.
Yes.
I'm just having a bit more water
course.
because we just finished having Islay, and of course, and now
Yes.
we're going to a 30-year-old single grain.
It could get you. Do you want another glass?
Actually, yeah, let's
Little palate cleanser. Whoop, there's a
yeah, and
single
let's just
bottle.
go to a.
one more glass.
Let's just do a fresh glass
Yeah,
here.
we'll do a fresh glass for you.
Mine's good.
So single grain. I'm sure everybody who's watching probably knows what a single grain is, but any number of different grains from the one distillery. That's where it can get kind of confusing because single malt is also a single grain, as in only barley, and a single distillery, whereas single grain is any number of grains but the single distillery.
Got it.
Just to be, completely
Right.
confusing.
Right.
So 30-year-old Invergordon.
Whiskey Throttle wants to know, is there a difference between AD Rattray and Dewar Rattray?
No, same company. It was actually founded by Andrew Dewar and William Rattray in 1868. And that was initially what Tim Morrison had. He just brought back the name of the company, which was Dewar Rattray. But there's another company, a small little company called Bacardi, that own a brand called Dewar's. So even though Dewar Rattray was founded so long ago and founded by those two gentlemen, Bacardi had issue with them using Dewar Rattray on their label. So they changed it to AD Rattray. But same company.
Got it.
And Daniel's drinking the Muse right now from Compass Box. Blended
nice.
grain. Nice rich light again.
This is definitely for 30 years old, it's ridiculously fruity. Just so much fruit pouring out of that glass.
Again, the
It's
lemons
just
and the light
unreal.
citruses.
Yeah.
So this is a whiskey that you
Citruses are
definitely
there.
want to sit and, this is the perfect Christmas Day whiskey. I want to sit and taste this for ages.
Yeah, the kids are out playing with their toys,
Yep,
they're running
yep.
around, and you're just sitting at the table.
You're maybe full of turkey or something, and you're
the
just
fire's
sitting back
on.
and just like
Yeah, I've got a
snowing
chair.
lightly
Oh,
outside.
I love it.
Now I'm sure you didn't say, or you wouldn't spoil alert what Christmas Day is for
Right.
the 5th.
No, it's
No,
all
no
surprise.
way, mate. What are you trying to do
No one's
here?
watching.
Yeah, no one's watching. Oh, so you were trying to get something out of it.
No.
Yeah.
Not happening. Not happening.
And this, once again, this is from the 4th edition,
4th edition.
which there's still 4th edition available.
Yeah, and $100 off for Cyber Monday.
There you go, Cyber
If you want one of
Monday.
these.
That's refreshing.
Oh yeah, the
Clean.
citrus and the vanilla.
You've
That,
sipped.
isn't that like ridiculously fruity and gorgeous for a 30-year-old? Isn't that
Yep.
amazing?
Palate.
Like the cask influence
Wow.
on that is just been so soft. It's almost negligible, right? So after 30 years, it's got complexity from the cask, but it's just like, wow. This is what really floats my boat when it comes to whiskey, is delving into such delicate complexity. That's just like, yeah, it's my happy place.
You like that? That's your happy place. I like that. You had the sing song. Hello. Wow. 30 years?
30 years old, yeah.
Wow.
Powdered sugar. Astringent. Probably from the 30 years, the wood just soaking into the palate.
The oak is just a light kiss of oak, though. It's you know, like when you said 30, I'm thinking there's going to be a heavy oak influence, and it isn't.
This is like, there you go. This is just all sorts of delicious. Wish you guys could be joining us on this one, but that was.
Yes.
But you'll all be doing this. Well, some of you will be doing this. Maybe even Christmas Day this year. You'll be having a 5th edition, whatever that whiskey might be. That is always 30 years or older. I can give away that much because it always has been, and hopefully it always will be. I mean, I
Okay.
can't guarantee it, all,
Sure.
of course, but
But in the past,
it always has been over 30 years.
it's always
old.
been over
Yeah.
30 years, 30 or older.
A little bit of spearmint. It's got some spearmint. It's very nice. Very good. Again, we should probably start to close up here. 7 after 10.
Goodness.
At 10:30, Keith at the Malted Man Cave is going live with the new Glen Teapot Dram. So go check his channel out if you want to next. We did an auction right now. The Scotch Whiskey Advent Calendar number 5 right here. Bidding is
Cindy
at...
Bray, kiss me.
Hi, babe.
I was like, hold on, who sent us that?
That's
That
my,
was
that's
for
my
you.
smoking hot wife that I told you
Very
about. earlier.
nice, yes.
We're having our
Very,
30th
very
wedding
nice.
anniversary next year.
Lovely, congratulations.
Yeah, she's awesome. So all of this amazing packaging and everything, she does all that.
Her touch
fantastic.
Well,
of genius.
so this one we put up for auction. Bidding is at $750. That will include shipping.
Before
We're gonna
we
give
go
you.
off,
We're gonna give
yes.
2 more minutes.
There
Final
you go.
bidding
That's what I was going to say.
until 10:10.
Right.
Anybody that wants to bid, you'll get the 5th edition of the Whiskey Advent or Secret Spirits Whiskey Advent Calendar.
Scotch
Sorry.
whiskey out calendar.
Scotch Whiskey
Secret
Advent
Spirit Scotch
Calendar.
whiskey. It gets very long.
We have bumper stickers.
Bumper stickers.
We're throwing in our bumper stickers here.
We'll sign that.
We have
we'll
at
sign
least
both.
one coin, two
Yes,
coins.
I think we'll do 2 coins.
We
You're
are
going
going
to be keeping
to
the other
initial
one.
right now.
Yep, we're initialing. So again, we're in the 2 minutes
You want that side?
spin here. Yeah, we'll sign all 3 of these. Jonathan will be keeping his.
All right. This could be the only Scotch Test Dummies coins that are signed by a guest, right?
That is correct. That has never happened before, I don't think.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and then we'll send this other one around. So that one's there.
So you'll get 2 coins from the show, both bumper stickers. One that has the $750 written on it. It's the Pete Android head on the back.
We'll sign
We're
that
at
as well.
$750 right now. Dirt 117 is the high bidder.
That's right.
Isn't he
we're gonna,
just?
We're going to sign the top of this
Yep,
as
top of the
well.
box. I'm going to sign it personally.
That one's
Got
done
that one.
already.
Now
Here's this
are we,
one.
Are we doing one more?
Yep,
No, that's
we'll do
yours.
that one. Yeah, but we're going to sign
Well,
that
we've got to
for
sign
him.
that one
You
too.
want to sign
Yeah,
that
we
one?
want to
Sign
wants
that
to
one.
sign, yeah.
We're just crazy, signing
right.
crazy.
You got to sign it all, baby.
Excellent.
What we'll do is Dirt, if you're the high bidder, if no one outbids you here, as we're coming up. Oh, we're at 10:10, so bidding is closed.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right.
Dirt 117, shoot us an email.
He just went ballistic. I didn't think anybody was going to be able to beat that. That was
Yeah.
just incredible.
Shoot us an email, scotchtestdummies@gmail.com. We'll give you Jonathan's PayPal address for payment. We'll get this shipped out to you tomorrow via FedEx.
Oh, yeah.
We'll need your address. We'll get that in the email. So just shoot us an email, scotchtestdummies@gmail.com.
We're signing more things.
Yes. Well, we can sign the
That's
top of the
right.
box, so we can
That's
actually
right.
do this live before we close up shop.
Yep, we'll do that as well.
It's going to get
We'll sign
signed.
the Pete head later.
Dear Dirt.
Get that in here. Oh, yeah. Dear Dirt. I love
Dear
that.
Dirt.
I'm going to put on my own little message.
Dear Dirt. Dude. All right.
Dirt's the man.
Donation. This is the $750 is a donation to Drams for Fans
Yep.
or local
Edmonton.
food banks.
That's right. Nice. He's got like a double big D going here with the Dear Dirt. You rock. Beautiful. Very nice. Look at that. Makes me want to practice.
Okay, I'm just going to...
That's right. Show that. All right. And we're going to do our
There you go.
signatures off to the side here.
I think you might be in a movie show with a
Look
signature
at this.
like that.
Yeah, that is just unbelievable. I'm going to come in with signature envy just down here, just with my little deal. I'll give it a little thing, give it a little swirly do, and then if you want to pop that corner,
He's just like... let me pour the last of this
yeah,
whiskey.
let me get the
Look at
last
this whiskey.
part in here. Look at that. Oh, he's got an
put
STD.
STD by yours,
STD, yeah, we'll
Oh,
put
yeah,
STD
Scotch
on
Test
there.
Dummies.
That's right. We'll do
That's
a little.
it.
Well,
We'll do
we-
a little tiny.
When we went
STD.
down to the Whiskey Vault, when they had the grand opening for the Crowded Barrel Distillery,
Nice.
one of the fans down
That's
there
awesome.
came up, Kevin. Was it Kevin that wanted his book signed?
Yes.
And he gave us the book. He said, "Hey, can you sign my book for me?" Bart literally signed Bart across 2 pages of the book.
It was huge.
And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
That's what he wanted.
You just sign it in like the corner and
No,
let other people
no,
sign
that's
it.
what small, insignificant people do. He said we were the first ones. It was a big blank page. It was like a canvas, and it was dying for the artist of my signature to fill it. And then he went around to several other folks that were there, and some of them signed it as well. So once again, Dirt's got this coming signed, beautifully done here. The 5th edition. He's going to get our little Android Pete head, which you can see the big poster over my shoulder. We've got the Make America Pete It Again is going to be there, and the 2 coins that are going in as well. You've got one over there, and then the other one is
one
John.
is his and 2
The
there.
other one's going
Yes,
straight
that's right.
in my sporran.
It's going to the
It's going
spawn.
straight in there. There it is. It's going.
Beautiful.
Nothing to see.
That's it. Now, so we need to give. How are you going to message to Dirt?
He needs to email us. I said
right. And you've given that?
scotchtestdummies@gmail.com.
Perfect. So email
We'll
us.
get you hooked up with Jonathan's PayPal
right.
address.
Yeah, I'll actually. You can email my wife, and that way you can just pay our PayPal.
And we'll get that. So
We'll
he'll
get it
email
sorted
that to us, and we'll get that to him.
Yep.
And wonderful
Fantastic.
times. So what else? So we know this is. We know you're in full bore. You're in the midst. Right now.
So Cyber Monday tomorrow. Just to reiterate, $50 off the 5th edition, last
Yes.
discount we're doing for the year, and $100 off the 4th edition, and we are rocking and rolling, getting things sorted out for December 1, and of course, lots of Christmas Day calendars, but it's all happening.
Love it.
All happening.
A question: What's been the oldest whiskey that you've had in a calendar?
34.
Not counting
34.
this one. Okay, 34.
34.
So, and again, Cyber Monday. All right, so knowing that tomorrow you're basically able to go back in time and get the pre-order price
Yep.
that
For one
hasn't
day,
been around
24
yet
hours.
for one.
So that's actually going to
24-hour period.
start pretty soon here, and it will stay for a full 24 hours based on
delicious.
Pacific time. So
what a great tour. All independent bottlings. And again, I mean, before we knew each other, Roy, who lives in Glasgow, had said, boy, I wish you guys could experience as many independent bottlers as I do. And he said, if you come here, I'll make sure that you just get to try some stuff that you just can't get in the States. And this is that chance to get what you can't get in the States. So I'm just saying. I mean, I remember Roy saying that early on, and I was like, yeah, we feel you, Roy, because we're pretty limited. I mean, there's a lot going on.
I felt you too, Bart, and that's why we did this.
I love it. It's perfect.
Bringing this to the US was probably one of the hardest things we've ever done. It took us 3 years. But
now, I do have a
we're
question
here.
real quick.
Yes.
Before we close out. You said the first edition you had 400 boxes. How many are in edition 5?
2,000.
2,000.
Yeah,
That's all.
that
We
was
did for second, third, fourth, and fifth. We're only keeping it at 2,000. The reason for that is when we get into the older barrels, sometimes there's no more whiskey left, and we don't want to limit those older whiskeys that we want to put in at this point. So we are only doing 2,000.
Yeah.
But there is going to be probably at least 6 whiskeys that we will have 750 ml bottles of from our 5th edition that will come out beginning of next year, and they'll be available in the US and Canada, but only for Secret Spirits people.
Beautiful.
Good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay.
I'm just showing this again.
Oh, the collector's edition,
This
yes.
is the Traveler, and on the site there you can still get some of these that were only done in the 2nd and 3rd year. Right? Did I get that right? 2nd and 3rd year where you had these. Are there's still a couple available or a few?
Yes. So there's I think we've got maybe in Scotland maybe 15 third collectors, and I think we've got maybe 4 second collectors left, and then that's it.
Gotcha.
And they're $1,500.
Actually, the second is more. It's 2,000.
Okay.
Does it have the same whiskeys in it that the regular calendar has?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
So if you got your hands on a second edition, which you can, a regular second edition, the collector's edition, it's the same whiskeys. Remember, we just pimp the ride. Pimp the ride.
It's
Big
blinged.
time.
It's blinged, baby.
I can tell you what I would
blinged.
love to do. I would love to have that box,
Yeah.
and then each year
Right.
get the new one, but just
Exactly.
transfer the
Yeah,
whiskeys
so
over.
that becomes, your beautiful bar piece here, and just
Well, that's what he was
absolutely.
saying.
Throw 'em
You
in.
have to
Throw
have
'em
like
in.
your significant other or a good buddy. So if you
Do it.
want the surprise, and then just transfer it over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be nice. But I wanted to show that as well. It's coming. It's actually very nice.
I'm not shaving till December.
He's not going to shave. Yeah,
no
December.
shave November.
Is it all the way till the?
We're
7th?
actually going till the 7th.
Yeah, I
was
think.
the date,
Yeah,
so.
It's almost like a playoff beard.
of an infamy.
Yep.
And, I chose not to do it. So
well, we're all, I guess,
yeah, I've just got like a day's.
There's a
growth.
stubble there. There's something
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, mine grows. I just will it to grow. I'm Germanic.
Yeah.
I can simply will it, and it'll show up.
Speaking of Willet, when we close this down, we should maybe have another whiskey.
I love it. We shall. We will drink
We
more
shall.
whiskey. Thank you for
Fantastic.
tuning
Thanks,
in,
guys.
everybody. Thank you for
Thanks,
traveling.
everyone. Hey, no worries.
There's been a darn near blizzard. We didn't have a lot of snow, but tons and tons of
Oh,
wind
the
that
plane
came
ride
from
in
the
was like,
north.
woo!
Yes, yeah, he was flying in, and I'm thinking, man, I was watching these gusts of wind and blowing dry snow, and I'm thinking Jonathan's coming.
Good thing I wasn't wearing the kilt at that time.
Woo!
Daniel,
right.
you better buy it. Let's go.
That's it. Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
Cilantro.
Slanja. Slanja.
Dummies.
Slanjava. Awesome.
Come on.
All right, he's
Come
got to
on.
shut down. We're still live, so we don't
have to
say
go
everything
here.
that's in there yet. He hasn't told us either. He hasn't
Has it
told
stopped
us
itching
either.
yet?